Hello and welcome to my next build showcase. This here is a strength stacker. We are at 2400 strength. Now for the skill that we use, it is Glacial Hammer of Shattering. Now most strength stackers are Molten Strike of the Zenith builds, which is a good skill that scales with a lot of attack speed, but Glacial Hammer of Shattering does the same. But the difference is Glacial Hammer of Shattering has attack damage multiplier of 655, while Molten Strike only gets around 400% of base damage. Or for effectiveness of added damage, it's the same. Now that we stack strength, we get a lot of flat damage, and that flat damage gets converted with Glacial Hammer at a 6 times multiplier, while Molten Strike of the Zenith only has a 4 times multiplier. So that's the reason why I thought, maybe Glacial Hammer of Shattering could be good. Now the effect of Glacial Hammer of Shattering is also every third successive strike is a crit. Therefore, I don't need to actually get crit cap, as you can see over here. My Glacial Hammer of Shattering only has a crit chance of 7.95%, but every third hit crits, and we have Multi-Strike and Ruthless as well as supports, and these increase the damage of the third melee attack. Now, the third melee attack crits, so it has a 0.3 multiplier over here, almost a 0.4 multiplier from the crit. Then we get more damage equal to 89%, 98%, and also from multi-strike 44% more damage on this particular hit. So for the third attack is a crit and deals tons of damage. Now, the weapon that we use for this build is a replica Frost Breath, which makes it so your chaos damage can chill, and also attacks with this weapon deal double damage to chilled enemies. Now this in turn means we deal double damage because we deal a lot of chaos damage, we chilled enemies. Now we double the amount of damage that we do, and like every or most strength stacker builds, we use Crown of Ice for the helmet. And the nice thing is we also have a shield slot because we are not using a two-handed sword. Therefore, we can use the Wrath Pit Globe, which gives you even more increased spell damage. We are at 8,300 life. We use the Paladin's Hauberk at the moment because I didn't find a good Sacred Chain Vest with 55 to strength and resistances, and therefore I'm using this one. That would be an upgrade for the future. Then I'm also using a Helical Ring that has 2 all attributes and 2 strength. Of course, it's qualified up to 20, and yeah, it gives me also case resistance. And the most important thing, it has Warlord influence. Now I'm mirroring that with the Calandra's touch, and what the Warlord effect does is, where is it? Bound by Destiny. We get 15 increased strength if 2 Warlord items are equipped, and with the ring, that condition is met, so I get 15% increased strength. Over here, I'm using a Storm Shroud to get the elemental immunity through Mage Blood and chance to avoid being shocked Flask during effect. Exactly. Then for other defenses, I get my resistances pretty high. My chaos resistance is also at 73%. The last 2% wouldn't be that noticeable it would be a nice upgrade in the future, but it's okay at the moment. Then I'm also getting some chance to block. Over here, I skilled into that because of Divine Shield. Divine Shield gives you 3% of physical damage prevented from hits. Recently is regenerated. So this means all damage that is mitigated through either armor, endurance charges, or also block chance will give me energy shield regeneration. And that's the reason I'm going a bit of block, so I can regenerate more energy shield. It's also the reason we use the sacred chainmail, or in this case the paladin's halberd. So we are a lot tankier. We almost have 2400 energy shield, and that's the reason I'm really tanky. Then for the last flask slot, I use a ruby, topaz, sapphire, and then a onslaught silver flask, and then a replica runes concoction. That's just so I can gain charges, endurance charges, as you can see, really easily. I'm using a increased duration enchant. Therefore, I have to press it manually. But when I do, I know I will be very tanky for the next few seconds, and also it lasts 7 seconds. So it's still a long time that I also get the block chance. I get an endurance charge. This is very useful for when you get into a map. For example, I will do this map over here. I can show you the build. Now this build is very tanky, very fast, and I will show you the damage numbers in a few seconds. The quality of life is pretty good. You have a lot of attack range, so you don't need to send too close to enemies, but it's not as comfortable as Molten Strike of the Zenith. In that regard, I still would prefer Molten Strike, but it's pretty okay, I'd say. In Delph it doesn't matter, monsters run to you, so you don't really care. The more attack speed you have, the better, and I'm also using Blood Rage, so I can generate my frenzy charges. Sorry about that. And then I'm even faster, as you can see. Now the breach has stabilized. Let's do it. Now the tankiness of the character is pretty good, so I'm never in real danger of dying. It's also built I'm using to delve. I just started to delve recently, so I'm at close to that 6100, and it's easily doable. So no worries over there at the moment. And if I invest even more into this character, there are still some upgrades to be made. So I think that around 1200 should be easily doable. Everything above I don't know for certain, as I've never been that deep so far. But I will try to go down deeper in the next few days and see how it feels. Now the thing is, with Molten Strike of the Zenith, you need to wait for every 5th attack. With Glacial Hammer, you only need to wait for the 3rd attack until you do tons of damage. Now, over here, the in-game damage it shows, it says it's around 1700, but that's without any rage or anything. But I have it over here in Path of Building. In the configurations, I put in the rage, and that's at 40. That's because we are using over here, we get 10 to maximum rage. We generate 2 rage per hit. So we, especially in Delph, we pretty fast get to this maximum hit DPS, which is around 17 million DPS. So it's not insanely high. There are certainly some builds that go way higher than that, but it is more than enough for tier 16s and tier 17s, and also for going down in delve. The nice part about this build is you don't need to go that deep in the investments department, because you can literally just take the replica of Frostbreath, which is around 10C. So I think this is a good strength stack starter build. If you have enough money, you probably will upgrade into Molten Strike of the Zenith later on. Then I've missed some jewels. Over here, this is the Foulborn Red Tree, which just gives increased life instead of fire resistance or all elemental resistances. Or, yeah, you know what I mean. Exactly. That's why we get over here some more life. And over here, I'm using the Lethal Pride. This one gives me over here 5% increased strength. Over here, reduced enemy stun threshold, not that useful, but over here, 5 increased strength, 22 strength, 5 increased strength. Over here, 22 strength, 22 strength, and increased melee critical strike chance. And there are two nodes that aren't perfect. There is another Lethal Pride that's even uh, more strength. It uses over here the assured strike node, and then your pathing also changes. But that's something for the future. Early on, when I had less passive skills, I was using these nodes to be a bit more efficient in pathing down here, and also using the increased global accuracy rating tattoo on dexterity. This just increases your attack speed with the ascendancy of the Juggernaut. Over here, every 150 accuracy rating gives you increased attack speed, and that's just a really nice passive to have. So also converting my additional dexterity nodes to accuracy rating, so I'm attacking even faster. Yeah, that's it for the build. It has around 17 million DPS, pretty tanky. The effective hit pool is around 300k, which isn't quite right. We have a Fizz max hit that's around 27k with 7 endurance charges active. There's also some upgrades that could be made in game. For example, I would love to get a replica Alberon's Warpath with 1 maximum endurance charge, then we would have 8, which also would increase the tankiness by quite a lot, as Divine Shield increases the amount regenerated the more you mitigate physical damage. And with Juggernaut, you mitigate 5% per endurance charge, not only 4. Therefore, 1 endurance charge makes you a lot more tanky than usually. Yeah, that's basically it for the video. Thanks for watching and have a great time. Bye.